Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I'm going to be continuing working on this coloring page. The colors I'm using are Prismacolor 1020, 936, and 208, but feel free to use whatever colors or from whatever pencil sets you want. Sorry, I'm all sticky. Okay, so let's just start coloring in here. I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter weekend. Ours was pretty laid back, which was nice. But I do have a funny story. So a few days ago, there was a knock on the door, and we weren't expecting anyone, so it scared me to death. But once I answered the door, it was a sales lady, and she asked if my parents were available. And that's just really funny because I am like one of the parents in the household. So I said, "Oh, actually, I'm the parent," and she felt really bad. But it was just really funny because I have a 2-year-old and I'm in my mid-20s, so I do get that a lot, that I look a lot younger than I actually am. Sometimes people ask if my son is my brother because I look so young, but I'm definitely not complaining because 20 plus years from now, that's gonna be awesome to just have a younger looking face. I need to sharpen this pencil. Sorry about the lighting, it's really cloudy today. It's supposed to rain. We'll see if it does. But another funny thing that happened a long time ago with regards to how young I look, I was like on this little stroll and I sat down on this park bench, and I was probably 20, yeah, I think I was 23 at the time. No, 22. And just like enjoying sitting and just enjoying being outside. And these young teenagers come by and they are like hanging out in the area for a bit, and this one kid comes up and says, "Hey, you're really pretty. Can I have your number?" And I told him, "I'm sorry, I'm married," and he was so embarrassed and said, "Oh, I thought you were like 15," and just ran off. So I feel really bad because it takes a lot of guts for someone to ask for another person's number. So he might have restrained from doing that for a while. Let's see, and make this just a darker green. And I'm trying to follow the color scheme on the washi tape on the other side. And some lighter green. Okay. I'm gonna make these little teardrops dark blue. Like so. I just want this to be just like super simple. which is why I limited myself to these 3 colors for the main body. Alrighty. Okay, so how do I want to do this? I think I want to do this greenish gray. Oh man, so yesterday I went to the gym, and I haven't been to the gym in a very long time. Like, maybe once or twice in the past 2 years. Just because with a baby, it's harder to find that time. And my husband was a student until just a few months ago, so he didn't have a lot of time to spare to have me like leave my son in his hands every other day to go to the gym. So I went yesterday and decided it was gonna be leg day. And wow, I am so sore. Like my legs felt like jelly. I could barely walk, and now I'm just waddling all over the place because it's like my upper thighs. Because I did the thigh machine, and then I did squats and lunges, and I did another machine where you like kick back with your foot, and I've never used equipment like that before, so new muscles that have never really been worked before are like, whoa, letting me know. Okay, it looks like, oh no, I should have made these dark blue. I'll just have to figure that out when I get there. Okay, this table is like wiggling with every move. There. But tomorrow it's gonna be arms, and I definitely, well, I don't know, I think holding a I've had to carry around a baby / toddler for 2 years, so maybe some of that muscle is still there, but I have a feeling tomorrow I'm gonna be way sore too, because that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Oops. Okay. So you got that baby colored in. Oh, I forgot about this part. I got further last time than I remembered. Right now. So I've got this whip, and then I started another whip last night, and I have another whip going from Sunday, and it's Tuesday. So I don't know, sometimes I just get so excited about a new coloring book or an idea or a supply that I start another whip. So, and that doesn't count all the whips that I have from other months. I might just have a month where I only work on my whips, just so I can have more done. Okay, let's take this guy and trace around here. I can't even think of how many whips I have right now. There's a lot. Though, one thing I will say is I have this policy with myself that I can't have multiple whips in one single book. Which I think is a good policy for me to have, because otherwise I would, have 15 different whips in a book and not a single completed coloring page. Like, sometimes I'll start coloring and then when I get impatient, I usually, especially in Hannah's books, if I'm working on a single page, that's, like, if I were working on this, then I would start wanting to work on this too, but if I did that, then I wouldn't finish either of them. Just because I know myself very well. Yep. But I do like to have multiple whips going on just because sometimes if I'm working on something more complicated or I want it to have, I want it to be perfect, I like to take a step back from it for a while to kind of think about what color I want to use, or just to build up the courage, like to do skin tones or intricate patterns. So that variety helps me actually do better because I can process it longer and not make a bad color choice, which is what I'm super afraid of, and I think a lot of us are actually nervous about making the wrong color choices, which technically there isn't like completely wrong, but there are other colors that work better with other colors, if you know what I mean. Alrighty. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave these little circles white and color the blue in these little cracks. Sorry, not as chatty right here because it takes a little bit more concentration. Okay. That looks nice. I'm gonna turn this just so you can see what I'm doing better for this part. Okay. Oh man, I forgot. Oh yeah. So the other day I was getting ready to film an upcoming video and I did the most feared thing and spilled my water. I knocked over my container of water and I just like booked it to get a towel because I have some, thankfully my coloring books weren't directly touching the table, but I don't know where I was going. Where was I coloring? Oh dear. I can't even remember where I was coloring. Wow. I'll find it. But yeah, I spilled water. But I was really worried because I have a diamond painting on my art desk that takes up a lot of the space. But thankfully, I have this Bristol board with some paper in it. Just because my art desk is clear and for filming purposes, it just works better to have this as a background. And that soaked up most of the water, so thankfully nothing really got ruined. Not even my little book that I had sitting. Yeah, this book right here was right next to the water. Okay, I'm gonna turn this again. Oh! That's what I was coloring. Okay. See, I knew I would find it. Oh dear. There's just so many little details on here. Sometimes it's hard to keep track. So, my son is 2 and he's kind of at the age where they have the language explosion and they're learning and using new words each day. And yesterday's phrase was apple tree. There was this show that he was watching where there was an apple tree and he kept saying apple tree, apple tree. And then we were reading a storybook and there was an apple tree and he got super excited. Apple tree, apple tree. And then when I put him to bed, I hear, because sometimes he'll just like jabber before falling asleep, and I could hear in his room, apple tree, apple tree. And I thought, what? Why is he thinking of apple trees in his dark room? So I think he really likes the way that phrase feels in his mouth or something. But it was just too cute. Too cute. Oh man, he's adorable. Okay. But he also, is starting to use 2-word sentences, and his favorite is to use the word no. So he'll say no nap, or no dancing, or no loud, or, so it's just so cute because he's so serious when he says he doesn't want something, like no bye-bye, no home, no go home. Okay, so I'm trying to decide what I want to leave white. I think I might leave the flower white and color in what's behind it gray. Let's get these blue. I think just little kids do the cutest things sometimes. Okay, I'm actually going to use this lighter without the gray. Yesterday, so my son loves bubbles, and so for his birthday we got him a bubble machine and he was so happy. There was so much joy on his face that day. And yesterday he wanted bubbles, and we were at the grocery store and he just kept saying bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. Because we ran out of bubble solution, so we had to get more, and he was so excited. Alrighty, now we're getting down to the details. Right here. Okay. Oh man. Oh dear, I stood up for a second and it's so hard to sit down. Oh. Probably also doesn't help that I'm sitting on the kitchen chair. It was between either having the office chair that we have at our piano because we don't have a piano bench, or at the art desk. But I feel like currently I'm spending more time being at my art desk than being at the piano, so I might swap them. It's just easier to adjust the office chair to the piano because it can roll. Okay. I'm actually gonna make these this same blue that I have back here. Oh wow, look at that. Where did that come from? Let's make that gray. I'm trying to leave some white, not cover up all the white. Alright. Yeah, so I think I'll do the same blue here, 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 and here that we did right here. Which means I take this, color it in lightly. This is a fun way to mix new colors when you're using a limited color palette. Because I could probably find a blue similar to that in my pencils, but I'm trying to limit myself, so I'm just gonna make my own. Okay, and then right, let's do right in here as well. We're nearly there. Okay. And I'm not really using a ton of shading. The fish, just because it is more of a designy fish, but you definitely could add more shading than I am. Okay, and then I used the light Celadon green. Oh, I love Celadon green on ceramics. That glaze is so pretty. It's a Japanese glaze. Oh, man. Well, it's like Japanese inspired, but I'm pretty sure it is Japanese. I know the Shino glazes they're a really pretty transparent glaze that are like more transparent orangey. So sorry, that was super random, but I did do ceramics for a couple of years, and I would be doing it now, except I don't have access to a wheel or a kiln at the moment. Once we have our own house, because right now we're renting, but once we have our own house and we're more settled in, we are definitely gonna have a ceramic studio. Because I think it'd be really, well, I am obsessed with ceramics. I could be in the studio all day, and I was when I was a student. I was in this studio all day, every Friday, just throwing pottery. and trimming pottery and glazing pottery and making pottery. So I think it'd be really cool to have a studio like in our backyard or something, and for me to teach ceramic lessons, because I feel like there's a lot of interest in that, and it is a very soothing kind of craft, and it's really cool to see the workmanship of your own hands be able to be used for something. When I was a student, I made so many bowls, and we have a whole shelf in our cupboard stacked to the top with my ceramic bowls, and it's not even all of them. And I've sold a lot of pottery. So I think that would be really cool too, to like have a storefront, or just like people come to my studio to buy ceramics. Oh, I forgot to color in that part. Because it's unique and one of a kind, and some of the heavier fire, like the higher fire, are so sturdy. But if you drop a ceramic bowl on tile or on cement, it will break. But if you're firing to like cone 10, which is one of the highest fires you can do, it is like dishwasher safe and everything. Well, even if you do cone 6 too, but you have to use cone 6 clay. You have to use the right clay with the right firing. Okay, and y'all just got a mini pottery lesson there, all stemmed from talking about Celadon green. But you will learn that squirrel, I go on tangents all the time. So, yes. But yeah, that's my dream, to have a studio. And to have my kids learn how to do it one day. That'd be a really fun family activity. And I'd still be able to work on what brings me so much joy. I'm gonna color that in super lightly. Okay, now I'm gonna do these guys. And this one. I tend to use a lot of pressure with my Prismacolors, which I need to break that habit, because it wears them down so much faster. But sometimes, if it's not using super smooth paper, like in, who is it that has super smooth paper? I just forgot her name. She's my favorite. In Fairy Miracles. What is her name? Oh my goodness. Clara Markova. Her books are super smooth, and so I don't tend to use as much pressure. But on rougher paper, because I want that smooth effect, I tend to maybe use too much pressure when it's probably better to just layer it up. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Some more color mixing. Alright, nice. Oh, it's all these little details the sky. Oops, I can't. There! There. And then fill in these circles. Sometimes it's super hard to decide on such intricate patterns where to put your colors. Ooh, I like that. That is nice. Okay, I gotta do the stripy pattern here. I'm gonna leave all these circles white. Okay. And then just want to make sure I have all these done. I'm gonna color this dark, because like when it's so detailed I tend to forget places. But I think I got everything in there, and I'll just do this stripe pattern here. Oops. There we go. Okay, and then I'm trying to decide what to make these round things. I might make them sell it on. Okay, I'm gonna fold this way. I'll color down. I probably should sharpen this pencil. It would make it so much easier, but I'm gonna make things difficult. I'll just use this blunt tip. Okay. There's that. Woohoo! Almost there. 4 more circles. There we go. Wow, awesome. Oh man. Did it flip on me? It did. So if that was upside down for a long time, I'm super sorry. I'll go back and check it. But thanks for tuning in and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. And if you aren't already, be sure to subscribe. Here's that nice design close up. It's really simple color palette. And now it's out of focus. Okay. I hope to see you next time. Happy coloring!